Kick-ass facts! Let's talk about slang. Pew, pew, pew! The term catfish was coined by a filmmaker as the title for his documentary about falling in love with someone he met on Facebook who turned out not to be the person she said she was. Until then, catfishing was defined as the practice of using catfish to keep cod active during transportation so the flesh wouldn't get mushy and tasteless. Now it refers to the fabrication of a false online identity for the purposes of deception, fraud, or exploitation. Since the 1840s, which of these have been known as ankle biters? A. Snakes, B. Ticks, C. Mob enforcers, or D. Young children? The correct answer is D. Young children. Ankle biter is also used to describe a small aggressive dog. The idea is that both small children and small dogs are so small they can only reach one's ankles. The term rugrat, as a bonus, also refers to a small child who is still crawling on the carpet, but the phrase isn't that old. The earliest recorded use of that one was 1964. Appearing in the early 20th century, Weisenheimer was used to describe a smart aleck and combines wise with Enheimer, a reference to smart-sounding German family names. What about smart aleck? Alec is a nickname for the name Alexander. The phrase smart aleck is possibly derived from the name of Alec Hogue. Who's Alec Hogue? You're full of good questions today. Alec Hogue was a pimp who stole from the customers of his prostitute wife when they were distracted with her. He was caught but bribed police to stay free. He became so successful that he felt he didn't need to bribe police anymore, at which point he was arrested. Essential to the 1980s Valley Girl lexicon and a prominent player in the show Square Pegs, when would you describe something as grody? A, when it's delicious, B, disgusting, C, boring, or D, ill-fitting? The correct answer is B, disgusting. Thanks in part to its use in the 1980 song Valley Girl by Frank Zappa and his then 14-year-old daughter Moon Unit, the word grody was everywhere in the 1980s. The phrase used in the song was grody to the max. However, the word has been in use since almost 2 decades before that. The earliest evidence for grody was from 1965. The song also popularized gag me with a spoon, another phrase used to indicate disgust or annoyance. Giving someone a look out of the corner of your eye has long since been a sign of contempt, disbelief, and suspicion, or sneakiness. Shakespeare used to refer to this type of look as askance, but we say side-eye, and we've been saying it since 1797 when a periodical referred to it as being looked upon with side-eye. Back in my day, we would say cut-eye, which also has its own definition, a visual gesture using one's eyes and face to communicate displeasure or disapproval, and in some case, hostility. Cutting eyes at someone is glaring or looking at someone with eyes narrowed and looking to the side instead of looking straight ahead at the intended person. What sort of person would you refer to as the bee's knees? A, judgmental, B, a compulsive liar, C, someone very jovial, or D, someone highly admired? The correct answer is D, highly admired. The phrase bee's knees was just one of many animal possessives that were used during the 1920s. Others included the cat's meow, the ant's pants, and the eel's ankles. The bee's knees is also a Prohibition-era cocktail made with gin, lemon, and honey. Salty refers to someone who is angry and bitter, and while this word has experienced a linguistic resurgence, we've been using it for a very long time. By the late 1800s, salty referred to various aspects of naval life. Since sailors had a reputation for colorful language, salty soon came to refer to crude speech. Thanks to sailors' propensity to spout off profanely and suddenly, salty came to refer to explosive anger. One of the earliest examples of the phrase jumping salty, meaning to get angry easily, appears in the gossip columns of the New York Age newspaper in 1936. The New York Age was widely considered one of the most prominent African-American newspapers of its time. Inspired by how the actor Humphrey Bogart smoked cigarettes, to bogart something means what? A, to not share, B, consume quickly, C, pass around, or D, pretend to enjoy. The correct answer is A, to not share. Humphrey Bogart often would keep a cigarette dangling between his lips until the cigarette was almost gone. Bogarting became slang for consuming something without sharing, thanks to its usage in the 1969 film Easy Rider. I think they also used it in Reality Bites. 1994? Kids in the 1970s were called space cadets if they were forgetful because it referred to someone whose mind was off in outer space. If you've ever been hornswoggled, you've been A, smitten, B, bitten, C, deceived, or D, relieved. The correct answer is C, deceived. Experts have no idea how hornswoggle entered into the English language, but it originated in the southern United States during the early 19th century.